Now, people, today I told you guys about an incident that took place in Exchange Center shortly after 10 in the morning, where it is said that a policewoman took her 3 points with her licensed gun. But now me I get to understand say she was a former policewoman. She left the force long time. Her name is Alsania Flinch and she is 48 years old. Allegations are that this morning Alsania Flinch chartered a taxi to the Firearm Licensing Authority office in Discovery Bay, St. Ann, where she picked up her firearm from storage. You hear that, people? She chartered one taxi to go down at the Firearm Licensing Authority office in Discovery Bay, St. Ann, to pick up her license gun. So when she reach, she come out of the taxi, go in her place, go sign up her paper, and she get her gun, and she go back in the taxi. People, the taxi man feel like say him a go bring back the woman in yard. But I not say go. Me get to understand say when the taxi reach the vicinity of Exchange District, the driver heard when he gun select catch them on the back seat. Yes man, she select the gun. And by the time the driver feel look round, trust me people, a one in a head. Yes man, one in a head round it. Pure blood. Pure blood after that. Someone is dead. So the woman take her 3 points in the taxi. You see me? Her gun there storage. I don't know why it was in storage. But she decided say, she had charter one car this morning and she had go for it. And she go for it. I don't know what go on in her brain. But she decided say in the man taxi, she had go do it, you know. The taxi man they have something to live with. Me know say him a go sell the car there because if I me not drive back the car there. Me have to sell it and buy a different one. Believe me. So people, I just go on an update. You understand? Anyway, Lisa Hanna have a few words for you guys.
I love when most of you come under the comment section, especially when I say something or write something on agriculture and you go, that's why we need to eat what we grow and grow what we eat. And you reference Michael Manley's vision for Jamaican agriculture because he came up with that. But you reference it only suggesting that he had a singular vision for local production only. He didn't. What you continuously overlook was his global vision, which led to the Jamaica Export Trading Company, JETCO, which was created in 1977, to drive the production of agricultural exports. So the Ministry of Trade began exporting to 32 countries under the chairmanship of Peter King and Managing Director Ainsley Henriquez. And Ainsley's still alive, so you can talk to him. So back then, in the 70s, as a result, Jamaican ginger became the base for ginger ale globally. Our pimento exports from Jamaica accounted for 90% of the world market. And our exports of Ortoniques, that's oranges, under JETCO commanded the highest prices for citrus in Europe. And as a result, Jamaica was asked by the president of Mexico to sell their pimento production, and that their Cuba Frutas, I think it was, requested that we sell their citrus. That's the kind of reciprocal trade that was going on at that time globally between Jamaica and places like Mexico. So this success that we had at that time allowed JETCO to negotiate some of the freight rates for shipping, and Hapag Lloyd ordered, actually put reefer stations right here in Kingston Wharves for our exclusive use. You know what that means? That one of the global shipping companies, because they saw what was happening in our export, put their reefer containers, their refrigerated containers here. You know what happens now? You ever drive past on Spanish Town Road and you see a building called AMC? That was an agricultural marketing corporation that was set up back at that time for farmers to bring their goods to go to the wharf. You see what it looks like now. Truthfully, that should be a first-class, world-class production facility, just like what I was saying in the last time, for farmers to bring. It should be, we should have more of them. The lands over by Caymanas, some of the best farming lands, should not be in sugar. We're not globally competitive in sugar. We can't compete at scale with Brazil. It should have a low-lying crop, maybe like ginger with mangoes growing above it, or ackee, and then all of that is taken to Spanish Town Road. That's what I'm talking about. But you see what has happened. And the world has been radically different since the 1970s, but we haven't moved forward with innovative or even agile policies to maneuver some of these established trade blocks and really carve out a niche and value-added agro-processing market for ourselves. And that's what baffles me, because sometimes I wonder if it's the foolishness. It's like we had a brain explosion at various points in our history. We became incrementalists. And now it's just like, well, let's try something. So when you think about crops and you think about moving our wealth for people going forward, look at a country like Dubai. Dubai's population at the time of our independence in 1962 was 45,000 people. Today, it's about the same as our population, which is 2.8 million people. Their GDP is over 120 billion US. And you're going to tell me, Lisa, it comes from oil? No. Only 6% comes from oil. The majority of their GDP comes from tourism, trade, manufacturing, commerce. They took a decision. So let me tell you something. I want to go back to the agriculture. The global hot sauce market, meaning pepper sauce, things that I love, other people in the world love, it's going to be valued at 6.4 billion US dollars by the end of 2027. How do we get a piece of that action? Hot sauce in the United States achieved annual revenues of $1 billion. Tabasco sells over 200 million US dollars worth of its products in 166 countries worldwide. And, if you buy one set of its 3 signature bottles, you're paying 30 US for that. We have companies like Walker's within my constituency and Spur Tree, pepper sauce factories here in Jamaica. And their products are distributed in the USA, Canada, the United Kingdom, Costa Rica, Australia, and other parts of the region. Why don't we have more? If you talk to farmers who grow peppers for these people, they always have a market. And what I'm saying to you is that's what I talk about on the value chain. If you were to say, what can Jamaica beat the rest of the world in? Let's come up with a product. What would that be? Think about it. I say pepper. That's one of mine. So if you have these agro-processing companies that are already getting it right, why aren't we talking to them? And why aren't we having a consistent supply of inputs to create products for the international demand? So our agricultural policy should be using them as models for duplication, focusing on helping them to expand in their operation, incentivizing the creation of more agro-processing facilities, and certainly aligning our farmers' effort to grow crops that provide supply. Sometimes in my constituency, boy, MP, beg you some cabbage seed. What you want cabbage seed for? Well, mega plant some cabbage. How much you going to get for cabbage? Or mega plant some carrot. Or, Rada comes to me. Boy, MP, we're going to plant some Irish potato. Why? Well, the farmer, we need to put our farmers in crops that have an international, global competitive advantage. We need more Walker's Woods and Spur Trees. Look at China's population, over 1 billion people. Actually, 1.3 billion. More than 4 times the United States population. Our market is 3 million people. It does nothing to advance the Chinese economy in any meaningful way. But consider this. If Jamaica could just appeal to 5% of the Chinese population with our sauces, that would be 65 million purchasers. And at US $20 per product per person per annum, that would be 130 million US dollars in annual sales for one product alone. That's how we need to be thinking. Think at the end and work backwards then. If we can conceptualize the innovation, but we get to the end and we work it backwards. We want to be selling this amount every year in agricultural products. What that mean? Well, we have to identify 3 simple basic maths. So let's move forward to become a value-added agricultural export-driven country. Let's focus on products through which we have a worldwide competitive advantage. Because you see, to succeed in any one of them at a 1% global market share, just 1% of the world market share, will transform Jamaica into the country for which we all yearn. Okay? So join me the next time when we talk about coffee.